Here I am freaking out because I don't have anything for my portfolio. I put all my time and energy into writing my essays and um getting my creative writing pieces together for my portfolio, only to realize that um, the portfolio does not take Word docs. So I want to take a few minutes briefly to just talk about why I want to study film. As I stated in my first essay, um, I grew up surrounded by movies and music. Um, and whether my parents knew it or not, young me was sneaking all of the movies I was not supposed to see, whether it be Godfather, Scarface, Citizen Kane, um, Rain Man, um, among others. Um, as a youth, um, for as much as a tight leash as they kept me on, I would say that um, they did the best they could. But when DVD box art looks enticing for any reason, I wasn't even thinking about ratings. I was just box art looks cool. Um, as somebody um, who didn't really understand the dialogue that was on screen, um, or that I was hearing, I gradually picked up on little nuances. Um, and camera work and cinematography. Um, the movies I watched in my formative years played a significant role in me coming to realize I wanted to um, want to study film. Now that I'm about to graduate from Marymount, um, communications and journalism aren't as artistic um, in terms of you're more limited, and I like using my imagination when I write. Um, of course, I don't like being boxed in by any rules. Like I like the reason I like film are for and want to pursue it are the same reasons I play music and write music. Um, Among the top reasons is because I can write and say basically whatever I want. Uh, it's more collaborative than, you know, journalism or really any other field because you're bouncing ideas co- consistently more so than you would in an office setting, um, even when you're addressing the problems of an office. So I return to the question: why? Um, why film? Um, the my creativity is there. Um, Growing up, um, I had access to basically any movie I wanted, even if my parents didn't want me to see it. Um, for better or for worse, I got exposed to a lot more than I should have. Um, in terms of, you know, um, violence, profanity, uh, and debauchery, courtesy of Hollywood. But I grew to love movies for that very reason. And I hope that one day I would be able to capture or start to begin to capture um, those emotions I felt in a bottle and regurgitate them in ambitious film and music projects. Um, Hear me, Hollywood. Fuck you, Hollywood. Whatever you want to call it. Uh, the film I wrote the treatment for is a um, reflection and meeting of my two passions, film and music. And of course, I just wrote the idea down and didn't think of what influenced it till later. And um, you'll read about that in those prompt responses. But here's why I want to study film. Three reasons. One, film is the most expansive and most natural way to me to convey art. Um, Compared to music. Um, Music, you don't get the emotion um, right away. Um, you can't always envision the artist in the studio singing it or what they're going through. With movies, you get that right away. Sometimes it's ambiguous, and other times it's this is what I'm feeling. You can see it on their face, you can read it in their delivery. All you have in music is the delivery, and a vocalist cannot, um, even if their lyrics are golden, if they can't convey them, it's not going to move you. Um, Movies allow studying film, writing scripts, and uh, finishing uh, the film for which I did my movie treatment is my goal within the next 3 years. Uh, and leads me perfectly into the second reason why I want to study film. I can throw out all the rules, you know, concept of uh, time for the uh, for the time being as it relates to scenes, and just write and water it down later, as opposed to music where once I write something, it's more limiting in the sense that I don't throw anything away. Um, and I just keep writing for pieces and stuff, which is good, but also bad because I have a hard time divorcing any idea, um, which what makes the organic and naturally collaborative nature of filmmaking good, because you're always bouncing ideas off, and that's really what I need. Um, and the final reason is vision. Um, my vision of myself, I couldn't imagine doing anything else other than film and music. Game design, maybe on the side. Kind of, I kind of see myself as a jack of all trades, master of none sort of person, for better or worse. Um, of course, this video is unscripted. Um, I had um, directed one act plays before, and actually, when my piano player and I got together in 2016 for the first time, we immediately jumped in to writing a script for a musical, which I did not save to Google Drive. And what I would do is bring a scene into him. And first of all, he would tell me this scene is too damn long, because my scenes tended to be 5 to 9 pages, um, which is and which translated to about 10 minutes to 12 minutes a scene. And scenes were just overstaying their welcome, because I'm a fiend to detail. And um, basically, suspension of disbelief exists to me, but I don't like relying on that. I like saying this is what something is. And this is why it is, and just beating it into the ground. I've gotten better with that, but it's still a struggle for me. Um, writing these essays was, for the admissions process, was so difficult. I Because, as I stated, I am a detail fiend, and putting a word limit on me is basically the worst thing you can do, because I know the main parts of my movie, I know the message of my movie, and I know how I want my movie to look. But what's stopping me from explaining as much as possible other than the word count? Nothing. My natural inclination, as you can probably tell, is just to go into exposition with everything. but I do that for a reason. I realize it bores an audience, and I care what the audience thinks because I want to keep them in their seats. But at the same time, it's like such a struggle. It is and I'm sure I'm not alone in that sentiment. I'm sure I'm not the only filmmaker, and I'm reluctant to call myself a filmmaker at this point. I've directed plays and written scripts with intentions to film, but have never filmed. My high school in Vermont um, did not have a film club, and Marymount doesn't have much in the way of that either. Um, George Mason will open up a whole new world for me artistically. Um, want to study game design, and as a minor, while I double major in um, film and music, as I stated earlier. Um, because I clearly hate repeating myself, um, I just want to say thank you for reviewing my portfolio, my pieces. I know this video is lackluster. Um, I'm not gonna make the excuse of a time crunch. I should have planned ahead. My best excuse, and I'm reluctant to even call it that, is that I just spent all my time making my 2 essays the best they could be, despite the fact that I talked to um, somebody um, last week about from CVPA about in the film department about what was required. And my understanding was a basically everything that was on the page, but I thought there were also creative writing samples that I could give um, beyond the script, um, like lyrics and poetry like they had said. Um, that does not sound like it's the case, and even if it is, the reason I ended up doing this video is because Microsoft Word would not allow me to upload the documents I have, and Dropbox isn't working either. I know those sound. I know at least one of those reasons sounds like a bad excuse, and it's not. I'm looking forward to the opportunity to study film at Mason if accepted, and I am a serious student. I'll be getting my degree from Marymount in the fall in communications. I can handle college work, and I'm already starting the music program. Please help me pursue, continue to pursue my artistic endeavors at Mason. Thank you for your time, and I hope to hear from you soon.